Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be talking about the current state of console Fortnite, and spoiler alert, it's not looking very good. I've made numerous videos about pretty much this same exact topic many times in the past, but somehow the problem continues to get worse and worse. And due to the fact that the vast majority of pro and popular Fortnite players are on PC, a lot of the major problems on console don't get the attention they deserve. I'm going to be showing a lot of clips in this video, and as I was watching some of them, one of the main things that popped into my head was basically, man, if this same thing were to happen to Ninja or tfue or some other huge streamer, I could only imagine the blowback Epic would receive from the community. And even though I have nowhere near that level of influence, even if I can just bring a little attention to the current state of Fortnite on console, I'll consider that a win. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing that we need to talk about in this video is a major issue with console Fortnite that just makes me laugh every time I see it. And not like laugh in a funny way, laugh in more of like how the heck does this continue to be in the game kind of way. If you play Fortnite on a regular old PS4 or Xbox console, at some time in your Fortnite career, you've probably experienced some form of the map not rendering at the very beginning of games. This is a glitch that's been in and out of console Fortnite more times than I can even count, and believe it or not, it's back in the game now, and based on some of the clips I've seen, it seems to be the worst it's ever been. Let me show you guys a clip of a pretty standard example of this glitch, with a nice little bonus of the player's glider not rendering either, so it looks like they're just floating in mid-air. What I find hilarious about that clip, other than the whole non-glider thing of course, is the fact that this player landed at what based on the clip looks like a totally uncontested area of the map. In the past, as annoying as the whole non-render glitch was, at least it only seemed to happen in very populated parts of the map. So in theory, if you landed towards the outskirts or just generally less populated areas, you'd probably be safe from it. But it seems like that's no longer the case. However, I don't want anyone to get it twisted here. It's probably even worse when it does happen in populated areas. Here's another clip courtesy of my friend that showcases exactly what I mean by that. So not only did the building not render here, it just straight up disappeared for a solid 10 to 15 seconds as soon as he landed. Now luckily, since that specific house was contested by an absurd amount of players, he was able to live despite running forward against a wall that entire time. But most of the time, players aren't going to be that lucky, and even if you do survive the building initially rendering in, you now have a nice 10 to 20 second delay on looting compared to everybody else around you, so good luck with that. But don't worry guys, because it gets even worse. Not only do console players have to live in fear of buildings at the beginning of games not rendering, but now there's also a chance that your weapons and items won't render as well. And here's yet another clip showing what that can look like. Now, in that specific example, I don't love that guy's chances with a blue burst against a purple/gold pump, but still, could you imagine dying in that same way? You beat a guy to the ground, you loot and get a weapon first, and then, as soon as you get to him, you can't even do anything because your weapons aren't being recognized by the game for some reason. So like I mentioned earlier, these non-render problems aren't a totally new thing for console players. I don't remember the exact timeline of the glitch, but it first appeared sometime around Season 3 or 4, then it went away for a while, then it came back right around Season 7 and stayed in the game for a few months, then it went away again, and now it's back and apparently worse than ever. One thing I always say about console Fortnite problems is that a lot of them aren't really Fortnite's fault. Things like the 60 FPS cap and dropping frames in endgame are simply due to the hardware limitations of the current generation of consoles. But Fortnite's proven multiple times in the past that these render issues definitely can be fixed, and that's why it's just really disappointing to see them come back yet again, and make the beginning of Chapter 2 considerably less enjoyable for console players. Speaking of fixable console problems that are really disappointing to see, the other thing I want to talk about in this video is what just happened during the Fortnitemares event. I actually want to read a quick post from a Reddit user named It's Casper titled "Console is Unplayable" because I think he does a way better job than I could highlighting that specific problem. He writes, like Epic does every event, they add fog, which really isn't horrible. What's horrible is the performance that comes with it. Anyone on console can guarantee you that their game has run very poorly since Fortnitemares started. 60 FPS is not enough to begin with, but in a normal game, most console players right now are averaging 45, dipping into the low 30s and 20s. Not to mention, however, that the current frame stutters are unbearable for playing competitive at all. Arena Squads is a complete disaster mid to late game, and I'm not talking one frame stutters, I'm talking about half-second freezes every 20 seconds or so that will turn you in the opposite direction. And yes, I get it, console hardware is nothing compared to PC, but judging how the majority of Fortnite's players are on console, you would think Epic would make options or progress into making the game more enjoyable for them in terms of performance. That post hit on so many of the prevalent problems with console Fortnite that only seem to get worse during events like Fortnitemares. And I even disagree with his point that the actual fog isn't even that bad. Based on what I've seen from various videos and images online, it seemed like console players could barely even see due to the fog and sheer darkness of the game at times. The darkness especially was even annoying and difficult to deal with on PC, so I can only imagine on console with things like shadows being turned on as well. Now I know that some of you guys are probably wondering, well okay, as bad as Fortnitemares may have been, it's over now, so even if I'm a console player, why should I care about that? Well, if you guys remember, last year there was actually a winter event which started right around Christmas time that was basically just a snowy version of Fortnitemares. So even though right now you may be safe from all the console problems that Fortnitemares causes, we'll see if that's still the case in about a month or two. Now, I don't want to make it seem like Fortnite is just totally ignoring console, because even just a few days ago they released a hotfix that apparently fixed some hitching issues on PS4 specifically. But based on what you guys saw and heard in this video, that's only a fraction of the problems that's making console Fortnite so unplayable. So Epic, for the sake of the millions of people that play this game on console, please get it together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. If you play Fortnite on a console, let me know if you've experienced any of the issues that we discussed in this video, or maybe there's something I didn't mention that you've run into as well. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.